everyone, I'm Alex Brennan and welcome back to the Model Handmade. Now studies show that the average woman wears up to 5 pounds of harmful chemicals on her skin each year, taking the form of cosmetics, makeup and skincare. Now as a woman and especially as a model, I quite often have makeup on throughout the day, not just for being behind the camera, but also for events, meetings and even for a night out. And while I love what a little mascara and a bit of lip gloss can do for my complexion, I'm just not willing to face the consequences of putting products on my skin that I know do it damage. The Environmental Working Group, and I'll link their website below, have published so many studies on the ingredients of personal care products and their contribution to things like cancer, hormone disruption, depression, even weight gain, none of which is ideal. And of course that's before we discuss their impact on the planet and of course the animals. Later this year, the Model Handmade will be releasing its Fruity Beauty collection, a 100% natural and organic cosmetic line, which I'm so excited about. But since that is a while away, I thought today I'd share with you my everyday makeup routine. Now I know it might seem strange to talk about a makeup tutorial when we've just discussed the damages of putting those products on your skin, but today's how-to is unlike any you've seen before, because instead of using traditional products, we're going to create an entire face of makeup using only things you can find in your kitchen. Now, of course, some of these you might not have in your kitchen just this minute, but you can get almost all of them at any grocery store. And if you're struggling with activated charcoal, aside from finding it online, in London you'll get it at Holland & Barrett, in Australia at Mr. Vitamins, and in America they sell it at Whole Foods. Otherwise, any good health food store or pharmacy will sell it. All right, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my hair up, because I definitely don't want to have hair in my face while I'm putting my makeup on. Now the only thing I've got on at the moment is a little homemade primer, and I'm going to link the recipe below. So this is just a basic lotion with a little cerussite mica, and I just find that it helps the makeup stay on better, but you definitely don't need it. So the first thing I'm going to need is some concealer for the bags over there. And this is just a little bit of the foundation, the base of the foundation, mixed with a little bit of non-toxic lotion just to give it some stick. And I'm just using my fingers to put that around the outside of my eyes and a little bit up into the corners. It's a very light coverage because it's daytime and I don't want it to be too heavy. And I also like to put a little bit around the outside of my nose. And that's concealer. Next thing, I'm just going to take a powder brush and my foundation. And all the recipes for these are below, and I'm just going to dip and tap off the excess. There will be quite a bit of excess. I'm just going to run that around my face evenly, making sure the coverage is completely even. Again, tapping off excess. It's really handy if you do this with a towel over you. I'm just doing this with black trousers, so they are getting completely powdery. So the next thing, I'm just going to take an angled powder brush, and I've got a little bit of raw cacao powder here, and I'm going to use that, if I can open it, to contour my face. So I'm just going to take a little bit, tap off the excess. This is really good because you also smell a bit like a cupcake or a muffin, and I'm just going to use that under my cheekbone to give some definition and a bit of contour. And I also like to take the contour just around my forehead, basically the places where the sun would kind of naturally kiss your skin, and a little bit just around the jawline. Take back my powder brush and just blend that in. I just put a nice big dollop of chocolate on myself. Blend that in just so it looks much more natural. And that's our base. So I'm going to move on to eyes now. And I've got 3 different shadows. I've got ground ginger, cinnamon, and a little bit of paprika, and I'm going to layer those to give a really nice kind of neutral coloured eye. So I'm going to start just with an all-over shadow brush, and I'm going to dip that into the ginger and tap off the excess, and that's going to be our base. I also like to really focus kind of on the inside corners as well. Okay. Now I have no idea what this brush is called, but it looks a bit like, it's probably a concealer brush, but I like to use this for the corners and to go over the crease. So I'm going to take a little bit of the cinnamon. I'm going to start at the corner and blend that across my crease. And the other side, of course. Good. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of the paprika and just follow the same line that I did before. Not too much. It's just to give it a bit of shimmer, a little bit of that kind of burnt orange colour. And then I'm just going to take a blending brush and just blend that all through. So it looks a bit more even and natural. Cool, I'm happy with that. And lastly, I'm going to take a little bit of the cinnamon again, and this is just an angled brush. I'm going to go along the lash line of my lower lid. I like to do this during the day because I don't like to wear a whole bunch of eyeliner or any really heavy mascara, because it's just daytime and you just want it to look really nice and natural. And that's my eyes. The next thing that I'm going to do is mascara. And I've got here some activated charcoal and coconut oil, which is starting to solidify. And I'm just going to dip that in, tap off some of the excess, and use that as my mascara. And I'm going to do a little bit on the lower lash line. There we go. Eyes done. So our look is sort of almost complete. I'm going to do a little bit on my eyebrows. I know it's going to sound a little bit funny, but if you know anything about why I started my business, I actually created my products because I started to lose all my hair about 6 years ago. And Fortunately, as you can see, my hair grew back. My eyebrows, not so much. Eyebrow hair follicles tend to be a bit more temperamental, so I'm just using a bit of cocoa powder just to give them some depth and fill in the gaps. Now obviously if your eyebrows are lighter, ground ginger is really good for blondes. You can also use some paprika or turmeric if your eyebrows are a bit more on the ginger side. Mine have always been quite brown-y, so I like to touch them up with some brown. And obviously activated charcoal if your eyebrows are very dark. And you can also mix the charcoal and the cocoa powder to get sort of very dark brown. So now we're up to blush, and I've got half a beetroot, raw or cooked is fine. And I've got these little kind of cotton pad type things that I usually use for taking nail polish off, but today I'm going to use them for my blush. So I'm just going to dab them on to get the colour, like so, and then I'm going to blend that into my cheek. This is easier, to be honest, if the beetroot is raw. I couldn't find any, so I bought cooked beetroot instead, but the colour's still good. Cooked beetroot doesn't tend to make quite so much mess, which is always nice. Good. Blush, done, easy. And then you can eat this later. Now this is just about a tablespoon of frozen berries, and I've been leaving them for about an hour and a half, 2 hours just to melt. You could add a bit of hot water or chuck them in the microwave if that helps. We're just going to use them for the pigment. So I'm just going to use a lip brush, and I'm going to dip that into my frozen berries and use that as my lip colour. Now obviously different berries produce a different colour, so this one is raspberries, blueberries and currants, so the colour is going to be a little bit darker. But you could use strawberries, cherries is another good one. And to set that, and also to give my lips a little bit of moisture, I've just got some coconut oil. I'm just going to dip my finger and rub my finger in so that it melts, and just put a little bit of coconut oil over the top. And that is the finished look. So there you have it, an entire face of makeup using only ingredients that you can find in the kitchen. 100% natural, 100% good for you, for the planet and for the animals. Thanks for watching.